Carl Ankrum here, the Media MD, and welcome to a short video on how to record yourself. All right, so right now, that was a DSLR. It's a Lumix Panasonic GH4. This right here is an iPhone. It's either 6 or 8. I'm inclined to say an 8 Plus right there. This is an iPhone 11, not the Pro Max, or not the Max, or 11 Pro, just 11. And then this is just my laptop. It's an old, I think 2011 17-inch MacBook Pro. All right, so those are these different options. So when you're looking at what your backdrop is, you have to determine what's going to be the best for you. So on this laptop, obviously, we've got two lights, behind us. So that's kind of distracting. You can kind of see it up in here in this video as well. You don't see anything from this video. It's not too bad. You got this blue background, but then you also have just some other distractions over on the side. And then this one I'm really just using for behind the scenes just to kind of capture everything that we've got going on. But I want you to notice something from this angle. On this side of me, I'm dark because there's no real light source here. On this side, we have a window. So, so having an uneven lighting can be a little tricky. You have to kind of think of those things. So right back to this first. So with these two lights, let me go ahead and cut those lights. So depending upon your camera, it can kind of isolate that or just take the distraction away. I shouldn't say isolate. It kind of balances out a certain way. So now, like on this phone, it's the lighting's not too bad. It looks pretty good. This one, just because it's an older phone, older laptop, doesn't look as good. iPhone here, it definitely adjusted just as I did that. But here's one thing to consider. I have a window in front of me, which is an amazing source of natural light. The sun is the best illuminating source that there is. So I'm going to turn this around because what some people do is they'll put a window behind them when they're recording. So now with this window behind me, so let's do this one first. You see how dark I am now? Because the camera is focusing on the light source. All right, that's the laptop. And then here is the iPhone. Now the iPhone's obviously got a little better with their camera, but still the light source behind me is really distracting. You can still see my face a little bit. And then with this iPhone here, let's slide this over. Again, now it's making some adjustments, but still the light source behind me is still too distracting. And you don't see me nearly as well. So that's what you want to consider. That's one thing you want to make sure that you do. When you're looking, when you're going for it, and I'm going to pull this back a little bit because I'm going to show you something else. Now let's talk about the backdrop. So I'll just focus on this one right here. You want to think about your background. Is your background solid? Is it something that that you need to be looking at to say, okay, is there going to be something else that's distracting me in this view? You have to be considerate of that. It's not even so much what you're doing. You're thinking about with regards to the to the person viewing it. Not you so much, because you may disregard or not even think about it. But you want to make sure it's kind of even or what have you. Same thing down here. Now, when you have a laptop, we typically want to have it low, right? Because we're looking down this way. Well, you also want to think of looking up on yourself, not so much. So wherever your laptop is, I'm just going to scoot down on a little seat. You definitely want to consider having your laptop angled in, so it's coming a little more straight at you. Still gonna go ahead and consider a solid backdrop for yourself. So you always, so think about those, I would say those four corners. What's in those four corners when you're recording your video? And kind of think of it like that. All right, let's slide this back here. And then the very last thing that we want to consider, we're gonna go with the phone. So many people will hold their phone like this. That's how they record their phone when they're recording. Or they're recording something else. Obviously, we don't want to have the device vertical. We want to have it horizontal. Oops, don't cover this, do it this way. You want to have the phone horizontal. Just think of your TV, or think of your average computer monitor. It's sideways, it is not vertical. You don't watch TV looking that way. You want to make sure that your phone, if you have a phone, just get this is just a stand from, got this from Amazon. Just get a stand from Amazon or something and record. Do this with, no, I'm sorry, that's where the camera's over there. Sorry about that. Just get have a stand, record it that way to be a lot easier for yourself. That's pretty much it. I want to make sure that this made some sense to you. Thinking about not having a window behind you or any light source behind you. Always have the light in front of you some way, somehow. And then obviously think about the backdrop. If you got some kind of a solid wall in your house, and brick looks good. I'm gonna bring this over here. Brick isn't bad at all. You know, just again, something a little more solid just to think about where you are or what you're doing, and just kind of go from there. That's pretty much it. When it comes down to who you're shooting this for or what it is, if it's something, if it's for computers or for fashion or what have you, having that type of backdrop behind you is definitely not too bad of an idea. But that's pretty much it. I think that if you have any questions, obviously, feel free to send me an email, text message if you've got my number, what have you, and we'll go from there. The Media MD here, Carl Ankrum. Have a great day.